So I'm aware that some people's favorite thing to complain about is that the comment section is closed. I've used YouTube now several different periods. I've had periods when the comment section was totally open and I wasn't monitoring it at all. I wasn't interacting with people. I've had periods of time when the comment section was open and I was reading the comments as they popped up and really interacting with people. And I've had periods of time when it was completely shut. I'm going to make a digression here to note, look guys, I want veganism to succeed as a movement. And in as much as I know particular vegans on YouTube, via the internet or what have you, I want vegans to succeed as individual human beings as well. I don't hate these people, not even when I have conflicts with them. I said that recently to Pau Simeon. Pau Simeon is a guy I've had conflicts with. Obviously, we don't have much in common. If we knew each other in real life, I doubt we'd be good friends. But nevertheless, I don't want him to fail. I want him to win. He's a vegan. His heart's in the right place. And, even on a personal level, if I found out he was getting married to my sister, I'd be happy for them. I mean, Pau Simeon's a bit of an eccentric. He's a bit of a weird guy, but I don't care. Go ahead, marry my sister. Hope you guys are happy together. I really don't. I really don't have any, emotional or personal grudge against these people. I saw a comment the other day from Vegan Revolution, also known as Josh Randall. What up, Josh? Josh was commenting. It was an interesting comment from him. I sympathize, even though I disagree. Josh was commenting that YouTube had created a situation where the audience absolutely expects filmmakers to work for free, for filmmakers to film, edit, and upload, like polished works of art with no possible remuneration. And what was interesting about this, to me, the part that rings true is he talked about the fact that there are people in the audience who will actually hate you, who will respond negatively if you openly talk about donations, if you openly talk about, Patreon or Kickstarter or some other method of collecting donations to reward you for, this filmmaking after the fact. I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting because, Josh has a background as a real filmmaker working in the film industry himself. And he sees it from that perspective. I think, Erin Janis, she has a background in music, and she really sees making videos similar to the kind of creative artist process in the music industry, in the recording, as a recording artist. She thinks of it in a very different way again. And, there are people in the audience who think of, a YouTube video as equivalent to putting a tweet on Twitter or a status update on Facebook. And it can be. There's nothing wrong with that perception. YouTube can be a totally casual, low effort. It can truly just be opening a door into your life to let other people see a glance of what you're doing in your apartment anyway. Some YouTube videos are pretty much exactly that. They look like security camera footage. No effort has been made to entertain the audience. No effort has been made to educate the audience, and so on. The trouble is, it is easy to let your expectations slip. It's easy to, without noticing it, slip from an expectation of, I'm just going to do this for fun for a few minutes here and there, to an expectation of, I'm a filmmaker, I should be getting paid for my work, or a sense of resentment. Because again, the resentment can be both ways. The audience can resent the YouTuber because they say, who are you to think you should get paid for this? Which is common. And on the other hand, the YouTuber, the person doing the broadcasting, can look at the audience and resent them. Because from the YouTuber's perspective, they're saying, hey, don't you realize how many hours a day I put into this? And the number of hours can be significant. It really can. The filming and the editing and keeping up with the comment section, spreading your message through other portals on social media. When I first got started, just the amount of time to take a video and post it on Reddit, I try to have a discussion on Reddit to get people interested, post it on Facebook or other websites like that, that could add an hour. When you're a new YouTube channel, if you want to find your audience and help your audience find you, that's exactly the kind of work you have to do. Not even promoting it, just having that conversation with people, so that those who are interested in your video, whatever it might be about, have a chance to find it. And obviously, by the way, if I'm doing a book review, I have the time I spend to actually read the book, apart from talking about it on camera. if you're actually doing content that requires research, as it does, for Vegan Gains, for example. I know Richard puts in a lot of time into researching his videos apart from performing and editing them. So there can be a lot of resentment and mismatched expectations both ways. But anyway, say again, even though Josh is a terrible human being and he's done so much to not just insult and defame me and really tried to hurt me and harm me, and that stuff is still on the internet, and people do Google it. People do. I've been hearing back just lately from people who Googled my name and found defamation from people like Durian Rider and Vegan Revolution. And it is a problem. I mean, unfortunately, the risk I took in daring to come on YouTube and talk about vegan activism, it's had a cost. It's had a negative impact in my life. And that impact will never go away. Okay. So with all that having been said, why have I closed the comments section? Well, in a lot of ways, what it does is it disambiguates the function of Patreon as opposed to YouTube. I've had these different periods on YouTube when I tried using different methods, and I've got to tell you, the period in which I was happiest, for me, as the person making the videos, was the period in which I did get comments, I did have interaction through Patreon, through people who pay $1 a month, which is almost nothing. And then I did not have to deal with a comment section on YouTube. And if people emailed me outside of Patreon, you can email me for any reason, but I would generally write back to them when they sent me email messages or Facebook friend requests saying, no, if you want to talk to me, the way to do it is through Patreon. And that's, for me as a creator, saves a ton of time. It just separates your life into two halves where, okay, YouTube is where I post content, and then where I hear people, interact with people, where I can answer your questions. If you have a question, because very often I make a video in response to a question from a Patreon supporter. That's where you do it, is on Patreon. So guys, moving ahead, I've tried all the different combinations. I've tried having a totally free-form comment section, tried having a controlled and edited comment section. I've had no comment section at all. I've done it all. And I've got to tell you, what works for me the best, especially if every hour of the day is being counted, is separating where I can say, look, if you want to comment, the comment section is not on YouTube. It's on Patreon.